Welcome back to Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier, sponsored by Four Paws Restaurant, the iconic fine dining restaurant in St. Paul, Minnesota, with wonderful food, attentive professional service, and excellent wine. Um, I often get asked, why do you have a wine cellar? Why would you have 100 bottles, 200 bottles, 1,000 bottles? What's the point of having a wine collection? Well, the point of having a wine collection and having excellent storage for it is that you have the opportunity to let wine mature until it's at its peak. And wine, well, that's one of the reasons. And the wine become really fine wines have the potential of becoming something more special with time. Um, I was lucky to be invited to dinner at a very close friend's house last night, and he brought out two bottles that were both extraordinary. 2009 Chateau de Pommard, so Pinot Noir from the northern part of Burgundy in France. Um, and 2009 Vieux Telegraphe, Chateauneuf du Pape, Le Croix. 2009, of course, is it seems like it's pretty great vintage almost everywhere in the world, but it's certainly a great vintage in Burgundy and the Rhone Valley. Um, the thing about wines, 17-year-old wines, is it all comes down to how they're stored and how good the cork is. The cork, that part's kind of a roll of the dice. But these two bottles have been stored perfectly, 55 degrees, 70% humidity in a professional environment. And luckily, both corks were very strong. So both wines were really wonderful. The Chateau de Pommard, that's just a village level Burgundy. So 17 years for not a premier cru or grand cru is kind of pushing the envelope a lot of times. But this wine was really superb. I would say it was perfectly mature last night. Uh, you know, Medium bodied, dry, lots of red fruit, lots of flowers, beautiful texture on the palate, a long finish, and that classic peacock's tail effect that you have with great Burgundy. It was wonderful. Um, my friend is a vegetarian, so we drank it with red beans, and we had just been to a New Orleans jazz concert, so we drank it with red beans and rice and Creole shrimp. He didn't eat the shrimp, but the rest, the other three of us did, and it was just wonderful. Really wonderful, perfectly mature, really excellent red Burgundy, um, with kind of middling uh, level of excellence. It's just a village wine, which at 17 years old was just absolutely fabulous. And then we had the 2009 Vieux Telegraphe Chateauneuf du Pape. Um, I think everybody in the room but me preferred the Chateauneuf du Pape. I thought it had a little bit of pruny character that didn't particularly appeal to me, but it was, in spite of that, it was marvelous. Um, Classic, mature Chateauneuf du Pape from one of the great domains in Chateauneuf du Pape, Vieux Telegraphe. It's kind of one of the wineries that put Kermit Lynch on the map, along with Domaine Tempier. Um, and it was perfect. It was somewhat earthy, a little more rustic than the Pinot Noir, more full bodied, bouquet de gris, lots of that classic bouquet de gris that you get in well-made Chateauneuf du Pape, the aroma of thyme and lavender and rosemary, which grows wildly all over the place there. Um, it was wonderful. I just thought it had this little nuance of pruniness in it, which didn't make it not a great wine. It just made not as great a wine as I thought the Pommard was. Both wines were excellent. Both wines were delicious with dinner. Um, I'd say both wines are fully mature and kind of at their peak right now. I think he has a couple more bottles of each of them. It's time to drink them. Maybe he'll invite me back. I hope. And I owe him something really special the next time they are at my house for dinner. Thanks for tuning in for Adventures of a Black Belt Sommelier. Those were two really fabulous bottles of wine. 2009 Chateau de Pommard, and 2009 Vieux Telegraphe Chateauneuf du Pape, Le Croix. Come by and see me for a glass of wine or a bottle of wine with dinner at Four Paws. We have a really amazing wine program. with one of the great wine cellars in the Twin Cities, and I think one of the best selections of wines by the glass anywhere, literally anywhere. And uh, it's fun. It's fun sharing that with people. I hope I can share it with you sometime soon.